Well, my name's Joan Terrans and I'm 83 years old, and I've been married for some 29 years and 29 happy years. This is my husband, Les.
Yeah, I'm Les, and I'm the two I see here. Because as Joan rightly said, we've been together 29 years and happy years, and you can only have happy years in a marriage if one of them's the boss, and it's not me. Well, I've been playing golf since 1963, and due to the amount of competition I played, which included weekends where you played 36 holes Saturday and 36 holes Sunday because of the shortness of the season, I've hit just around about within 1 or 2% hit 1 million golf balls in my life. And that's hence the trophy winning. If you play that many games, you've got to win sometime. For 2 or 3 weeks, I was playing golf and couldn't get past 4 or 5 holes and had no energy, could not proceed past that point in time. And on the last day, the final day, I stopped on the halfway up the 5th hole and thought, I have to do something. This is cannot go on, I must get checked out. That was the light bulb, absolutely without any doubt. That was the moment in time when I decided I had to go and see the doctor and get checked out.
So Les came to me as a man in his early 80s who'd had prior open heart surgery and could no longer play golf. Les is a very keen golfer, but he'd been having real trouble walking around the golf course and he knew that something was wrong. His echocardiogram showed severe aortic stenosis and we knew that we needed to do something about that.
He lost interest in lots of things, and I guess I worried about depression. I certainly felt anxious, not depressed, but I think depression can come into it, and that was a concern for me.
I didn't know what it was, but I knew that everything appeared to be much heavier than it normally was, and I was out of breath all the time and had no stamina, and that was the things that I noticed, that there was something wrong. That's why I increased my asthma medication to no avail. It just didn't help, which made the doctor recommend me to have further checks to find out what was causing the problem. And it was the aorta valve that was causing the problem.
So aortic stenosis is narrowing of the aortic valve. It's the main valve that connects the left ventricle to the aorta, which supplies blood to the whole body. It opens and closes tens of thousands of times and over time, in some people, it slowly narrows. The leaflets become restricted and calcified and the valve no longer works correctly, and the heart has to work much harder to pump blood through a small hole.
While I was suffering pre-treatment, I couldn't do my exercises properly. I couldn't play the golf properly. I couldn't walk on the beach properly. Could only walk maybe 200 meters instead of 2 kilometers. And that was a big miss for me.
So severe symptomatic aortic stenosis is a morbid and mortal disease. We need to relieve the aortic stenosis for our patients, otherwise we know that their health will deteriorate, they'll develop heart failure, and the risk of death within a couple of years is very high. The standard treatment for patients with aortic stenosis is valve replacement.
Yeah, I was scared, I guess. I thought, how serious is it? Because I don't understand, I'm not a nurse or a doctor. And it sounded very serious to me.
After an interview with Dr. Murdoch, I felt so confident, and he came over as one of the boys and explained things in terms that I could understand instead of massive medical terms.
At the Heart team, we take a great deal of time to discuss our patients, their comorbidities and their test results to make sure that we choose the right treatment option for their aortic stenosis. We discussed his history of coronary artery disease and bypass surgery, as well as his deterioration in exercise capacity and breathlessness in the last year. There was input provided from the cardiac surgeon, the geriatrician, the nursing staff, as well as the other cardiologists, and overall it was decided that the best treatment would be TAVI.
Well, my procedure was referred to as a tabby procedure, which went up through the artery in my leg to have it done, and it was absolutely, totally painless. I had no idea of what had been done, no after effects, no soreness, and the only after effect I had was positive, and it was that I'd never felt as good for 20, 25 years. Simple as that, nothing to be added.
Yes, it was an enormous change when he had the valve replacement, and immediate. You know, it wasn't a case of, oh, in a few weeks. He said he felt better immediately, and certainly when he came home, within no time at all, he was back doing the dishwasher and hanging washing out and stuff. So he was really very well indeed, and I saw an enormous difference, and yeah, we're very grateful for that.
Les tells me that his appetite is improved, his sleep is improved, and his overall outlook in life is just a lot better.
In terms of my recovery, I came out of anaesthetic at 9 o'clock on the Monday morning. I was back in my home in Nooserville at 4 o'clock on the Tuesday afternoon, and I was in the pub with my mates at 4 o'clock on the Wednesday afternoon. Back to normal, or abnormal.
Well, Les is back on the golf course, which is very pleasing to hear. He's a very competitive and active golfer, and he's also a big part of his golf club.
Go see your GP and explain to him what's happening, because there is certainly going to be a problem if that happens here. So just have it checked out.